Excuse me?
Zadok is out of whiskey. Oh, God. How could Zadok go on without whiskey? Zadok doesn't want to remember. Hey there! Is that what Zadok thinks it is?
Yes, your beloved whiskey. You crave it, right? Perhaps it'll jog your memory.
Zadok's mind feels clearer. What was it you were asking about again? You're here to make fun of poor Zadok, like all the rest?
No, old-timer. I'm just here to listen to the tale of Zadok, which only Zadok himself can tell.
Why, but you are so young. What brings you to such a place as this?
Actually, I'm just passing through. In a few hours, I'll be heading on to Arkham.
Arkham. Arkham. So many times has Zadok been there in the past. But like the fool Zadok is, Zadok has always let himself be drawn back here. Zadok thought things might be different. But nothing ever changes here. Follow Zadok! Now, come here. Why are you so interested in Zadok's pathetic tale?
I'm most interested in why Innsmouth has become so shunned by the outside world.
Why so shunned? Well, allow Zadok to clue you in, my young friend. Reputation is pretty much just a human construct, and they care very little about such concepts here. But perhaps they care just enough to make sure that people do not come sniffing around. Zadok would like you to see something.
Wait up! Where the devil did he get to? Yikes!
It all began out there. Some kind of infernal gate opened in the depths of the ocean. The Devil Reef. The legend spoke of devils dancing upon the reef when the moon was full. Legends, mere stories, but with power enough to obsess and to plant those seeds of insanity into the minds of all. Oh, if only we had known the terrible truth that seemed only the absurd superstitions of these ignorant fishermen. We may never know what Captain Obed Marsh discovered on his voyages to the South Seas. But whatever it was not mere legends. For his ships returned laden with gold. From that day on, Innsmouth became one of the richest ports in the state. Fish were teeming in amazing abundance. This made Captain Marsh one of the most important figures in the community. But then began his strange behavior. He began raving about the strange deities worshipped amongst the South Sea Islanders, and about how such worship was actually answered, rewarding them with everything they longed for. Many folk, including Zadok's own doomed father, witnessed boats sailing out to the Devil Reef in the dead of night, and returning to dock overflowing with gore, and laden with more fish than could be caught in a 3-day stint at sea. Around this time, people began to disappear. Those who opposed Captain Marsh started to vanish. To blame him for this seemed the obvious judgment, but the townsfolk were blinded by their newfound wealth and looked the other way. So, how does Zadok know this? The night Zadok's father failed to return home, Zadok saw the boats gathering around the Devil Reef. Damn their eyes! Zadok cannot erase their chant from his mind. Ya, Katulaf Takun Konglui Magalna, Katulaf Lai, Bugan Govdug. Then they threw a large bundle into the sea. Zadok swears that Zadok saw the water's surface break and figures appear that were alike both you and Zadok, but not. If only for their elongated heads and the simian way in which they moved. Zadok is saying nothing more. Zadok has completed Zadok's duty and served the first and second oaths. Zadok will tell nothing of how that fiend navigated his way across the sea, nor of his landing in that cursed city, nor of the fallen crosses, nor of the followers, nor of the tainted blood that now flows in their veins. Zadok will not speak of such. Only the cats of Ulthar speak.
But what?
Zadok will not speak. Zadok will not speak. Only the cats of Ulthar can speak. Why do you choose not to believe? Why?
He's completely insane. I'm glad he's gone. I was scared he brought me here to get rid of me.
What does the cat say at midnight?
Nothing. Only a cat of Ulthar can speak.
I knew that the keepers of the key had not forgotten about me. Zadok has lost all hope by now. We have to stop them. We must stop them. The very fate of this world is at stake.
What are you talking about? Why do I only attract the loonies?
Let me start again, from the very beginning.
This book is a very ancient text, the Necronomicon. This copy is one of only a few remaining volumes, and all are kept under the strictest of security because of their inherent danger. It is said to have been written by the mad Arabic prophet Abdul al-Hazred in the 8th century, who was witnessed by many to have been devoured in the plain light of day by something unseen. As curator of the Miskatonic University Library, I have access to this copy, but I must warn you, there are those who have lost their minds from a mere glance at certain sections. Al-Hazred wrote of a very different reality from the one we assume to know of, a reality in which mankind in all his works plays an extremely marginal role. Let's just say that I have seen for myself proof of some of the book's contents, and that they are not as unbelievable as they may seem. According to the text, it seems that certain entities that we named the Great Old Ones have ruled over this and many other worlds from a time way before mankind had even taken its first step. And now they sleep a deep sleep of death, waiting for the stars to align and for their reawakening. In his house at Relaya, dead Cthulhu lies dreaming, but he is able to communicate with his inhuman worshippers and certain particularly sensitive people through their dreams to bring about the ritual he desires.
Inhuman worshippers?
Horrible, pre-human creatures, and probably our original ancestors. Virtually immortal, able to thrive with equal ease in the depths of the sea or upon land. Anthropologists have proposed contact between these creatures and certain South Sea tribes based on the ancient legends of these natives. Way back in the times when underwater volcanic activity raised eons-old sunken islands back to the surface, these creatures delivered up much bounty to the natives, but never the equal of what they asked for in return. Immortality has its price. These hideous creatures were unable to reproduce, so they demanded to mate with humans, spawning half-breed abominations, which at first looked human, but with the passage of years, more and more like their other parent, and who took to the sea once their time arrived.
Obed learned how to contact these beings from an old island shaman. So it was that, with the rites of the Devil Reef, he made first contact with them and began to appease them with human sacrifices. It was around that time that I was inserted into my watchman position here as lighthouse keeper. I was the perfect mold. I could see everything that was going on and not arouse the slightest suspicion. For years, all I did was watch and write. And, oh, the things I have watched. The ancient treasures March received were laundered through his gold refinery, which was only constructed as a front to hide their subnautical origin. But God himself only knows what else went on there behind closed doors. Those that spoke out were hunted down and sacrificed. At first, Obed refused to grant the kind of interactions that they desired. But these things are old, of ancient cunning. They convinced him. And now there are none left in this town with pure human bloodlines intact, apart from poor old Zadok.
And you actually believe these stories? Fishmen marrying humans?
I have seen many strange things, but I have learned to prize apart unsubstantiated rumor with the pliers of rational thought. When I started asking my contacts questions about the fate of my brother, every single one of them provided more and more proof of the truth of these legends. To be honest, I myself was preparing to leave for Innsmouth, but some of my contacts, for obvious reasons I cannot name, convinced me to remain manning my post here at this library due to the vital intelligence it holds. Dare you even imagine how much fear this all fills me with concerning the fate of my dear brother? My contacts specifically requested me to contact you, Lone Carter, and they asked me to tell you all of this to prepare you for...
How did I become so famous without noticing it? Who are these people?
I cannot divulge their identities. That would place both them and myself in mortal danger. Of course, it is vital that you do not breathe a word of what was said here.
And who would I tell? I don't want to get committed to an asylum.
But you are so young. Why have they sent me one so green? This is the night. The stars have aligned. I heard tell that they have recovered all they need for the ritual. A stranger shall deliver everything up unto them. Who would be so foolish as to assist them? You must stop them. Or all these years of preparation will have been for naught.
I'll do my best.
Keep watch over the key.